Taurus 12, window shoppers. A couple of people looking in a shop window, seeing what there is inside, seeing if they want it. And by doing this task, they're shaping their desire. It's not at all clear what we want. It really isn't. A lot of people think that it's an automatically arising thing, desire. We want what we want and that's that. But it's just not that way at all. We don't know what we want. I'm using the word want and desire here synonymously, although they've got a different linguistic sense. It's better to use choose and desire than the word want, because want implies I haven't got and I feel the absence of it, where desire is my heart yearns for fulfillment, and there's a sense of expectancy with desire as well. And it is shaped by the forces that are present here with the window shoppers. What they've done is they've looked at what's available. It's on offer. And they've no doubt looked at other windows as well. And they're not necessarily at the moment committing to buy. They're waiting outside just to shape their desire. And we have to do that in our lives. We have to just look around just to see what we consider is possible. Now, in one sense, anything is possible. This is esoterically true. But in another sense, we need to limit our life and our imagination and our way of being, or we would be mad. We cannot sustain unlimited consciousness. That's God. We can't do it. It's just burn us up. So we need to limit things, and the limits that we put on the scope of our lives tie up with our imagination. So we can imagine that we can do this, but we can't do that. We can be the leader of the local knitting circle, but we can't be president of the United States. Maybe, Not everybody thinks that way. Some think they can be, even though it's unlikely. They still make it. So it's a lot to do with your ability to shape your desire according to what you imagine is possible, this degree. And the shaping of desire takes imagination. And this is a very important word to study. Magi means magic. Imagination is the magic of visualization. And this is not airy-fairy nonsense for the pink and fluffies. Magic is a very real force in the world, and it is ridiculed and feared and pretended that it's not real and so on by everyone that can't do it. But it's a very real and obvious force that we all employ, everyone, whether they believe in it or not. Magic is the process that we go through. It's identical to prayer, really, where we move ourselves from a state of grace into the contemplation of what can be. That's what magic is. And we make that all the more so using tools of magic which are meant to generate the atmosphere. So candles and incense and tarot cards and foreign words, or words in a mantric language even more powerful than other languages. Latin is often used in the Western tradition, but in my mind, a mantric language is more important, so I've learned some Arabic words. And symbols that have been used throughout the ages. Somehow, when lots of people use the same symbol, something registers that in the Akasha. And when you use that symbol, you're tuning in to the power that's been generated over many years by many people. And one of the most powerful articles of magic that I've ever come across is that those in Islam pray facing Mecca. And in Mecca there's this big black stone, the Kaaba, which is the center of their attention. There's 1 billion people in the world looking at this stone 5 times a day. Theoretically they don't, but there's a lot of people looking at this stone and praying to it. this is one of the most powerful acts of magic one could contemplate. Now, when we look in the shop window at the article of our desire, it's giving that article itself recognition. And there's some mysterious way in which what we're attracted to is attracted to us. Now, if we look in this window, in that window, and the other window, if we look, let's say you're looking for a partner and you're looking at that man and this man and the other man, and they're all worthwhile in their own different ways, that's counterproductive. You need to focus on one thing at a time. Think about how an animal hunts. A hunting animal identifies its target and focuses on that target until the kill is made. And we need to do this too. Now, this is often called keeping your eyes on the prize. Don't split your attention. Look at what you want. Imagine yourself having it and hold on to that until success comes, or until you get bored. But if you actually want two things at the same time, you're more likely than not to get neither. So that's a discipline of magic, and it's rare, strangely rare. The fear of rejection and disappointment and so on is such that people will have a plan B, and that's maybe valid in life, but in magic it isn't. That teaches yourself, if you've got a plan B, you're telling yourself that you expect plan A to fail. Well, that's not expectation of success. And an expectation of success is a real power. It really helps things along. So, shaping your desire is an aspect of creating your life. It is, in fact, how we create our lives. This is a non-trivial process. All of us operate magic in order to create our lives the way they are. If somebody has a difficulty in their life with hardship or relationship problems or violence or whatever, it's because they have actually imagined that that is how it will be, how it must be. And this is trained in us during childhood. Now, it is true to say that we're unable to do very much about that during childhood, but the moment you become aware of the facts that your parents were like that and they did that to you and they limited your imagination in various ways, they said, oh, you can't do that, only rich people do that, only very successful people do that, only the best do this, they're kind of telling you that you're not up to the task. And then there's the other thing where, your father was a dentist, so you need to be a dentist, and so on. All of these ways that the parents impose upon our imagination of how to create our future. This isn't okay. It's just really not okay. So one of the things that a magician does early on is to say, look, parents, thank you very much. Now, you've done your job. I'm 18. I'm off. Not your business anymore. Mind your own business. And in one way or another confronts the parents. This biblical teaching in Christianity, love thy mother and father, no. You honor the honorable. And if your parents are not to be honored, then, because they're not honorable people, then don't honor them. Honor the honorable, love the lovable. Don't get told that what you got to do towards your parents because a book tells you. If your parents are liars and you want to be a truth teller, then, respect them. You respect everyone, of course, but honoring? No. What you need to do, therefore, is to tease out the good bits of your parents and other influences in your life, but mostly it's parental. Tease out the good bits and honor that. Honor the qualities that they possess, that you approve of, and build your life out of those by all means. But only that. And create your life out of your imagination, based on the imagination that you've worked out by looking at shop windows, by looking at what's available, looking at other people, finding a role model. It can be fictional. It can be somebody that you don't know very well, but you sense their atmosphere. Find a role model. Think, oh, I admire that person. And understand that admiration is basically a recognition of your own potential. Whoever you admire has got a quality or a set of qualities that you have in potential and not yet realized. So notice whom you admire. Notice what you admire, the trappings of a certain way of being, because that speaks to you of what you can have if you do all the right things in the right way at the right time, if this is your highest potential. And that's really worth defining. If we don't shape our desire, it's unlikely that we'll fulfill it. So window shopping is all about shaping our desire.